No, I have a question for you, though.
Oh, God.
Why did Jeffrey Dahmer cannibalize his victims? He was an avid reader of the Necronomicon.
God, that was bad.
Welcome to Games Overboard. I'm PJ.
I'm Dan. We do not have Angie with us tonight.
I know, it's just us.
It's weird. It hasn't been just us in quite a while.
Yeah.
I hope we can keep this up.
I was trying to make a justice joke, but just wasn't
A Just
working.
Us League?
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to go for?
Yeah, something like
That's
that.
That's a horrible
yeah.
joke.
Or, why is justice always served cold? If it was served warm, it'd be just water.
I'd throw my tea at you, but I'm still drinking it. Dear God. So before we start off what we went through tonight, we did get to play a little bit of Seismic.
Yeah, we gotta talk about this.
So we did.
I mean, it's kind of our thing now. It's like
it is. Yeah,
our preamble is Seismic.
We can't stop harping on it. So we did get to play it in Tabletop Simulator that is available on PC through Steam.
$10 right now.
Yep, guys, if you are avid about board games, but you don't know if you want to spend the money to buy one, or like there's a game you're not very sure of, Tabletop Simulator, there are talented designers all over the world who make these games. Like they're putting these games
out
into
there, usually for free,
almost always for free.
Yeah.
And
then you get the rule book, which is also for free online.
Right, and they
learn to play the game.
They work really hard to code these into this basically ridiculous physics simulator is all it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you're unsure of a game, play it there first.
Exactly, yeah. It's a great tool. There are others too, like Tabletopia is another good one. Apparently, the designers of Tabletop Simulator have voiced some like backwards ways of thinking, things that don't go with the cultural norm, and so people are like not using them. Like some people have left them.
Really?
And have boycotted them. Stonemeyer Games has.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you won't find an official Stonemeyer game on Tabletop Simulator. They're all on Tabletopia.
Good to know.
I don't know what that's all about. I did not research it. I have no idea.
Neither do I.
I just know that the controls, like, to play a board game digitally, unless, like, it's specifically made for PC, it's gonna be tricky.
Oh, my God, yeah.
But I already know how to use Tabletop Simulator, so I'm just gonna keep working with it.
When I was playing last night, it wasn't that hard. I mean, it was a pain in the butt, but it wasn't like, oh my God.
It was a pain in the butt because you didn't have a mouse.
Right.
You're using a trackpad.
But it's not like, oh my God, this is impossible to play. Like, no, it's just a pain in the butt. It's not, but it's not hard. Because you're just picking up pieces and moving around. I really do. I know you said that it was bad, but I kind of want to try this in VR.
I mean, I do want to try it in VR and see if I can get the controls working, but I'd really like to. So, it's not good.
Back on track here.
Yes.
So
Seismic.
we played Seismic on Tabletop Simulator, and we had Jason there with us.
Yeah, we had the designer with us there.
He was there teaching us before we even got into play. He was going through all of the rules, giving us examples, taking all of our pieces that we had just meticulously laid out and moved them around. It wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad.
No, I really appreciated it because I had no idea if we were doing it right or not, and we were. Like, we
were. And here's the best thing about the whole thing was Jason was there to watch us play, and he was giving us tips.
Yep.
Like, oh, hey, PJ, Dan just did this. You might want to take a look at this. You've got this avenue to go through and this avenue to go through. And like, it was really cool to actually have not just somebody who knows the game really well. We had the creator of the game right
person
there.
who knows it inside and out because he made it,
and gave us insight as to why some of the wording is the way it is and everything.
Yeah.
And that was great. We did not finish the game because by the time Jason finished teaching us, I had already been up for close to 20 hours. I was tired.
So we got 2.5 turns into the game.
2.5 turns into the game, and each turn can be long or it can be short. And he even told us that turns can just go by just like that, or it can be drawn out. It all depends on what you're doing and what you're going for.
And if things are going according to plan. Sometimes I have my cards lined up, like, this is what I'm doing next turn,
Yeah.
And so then when my turn comes around, like, I burn this, I play this, boop, 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 boom, boom, done, your turn.
Exactly, and that's what I try to do as well. But Jason also told us, like, and this was really great because he saw that we were doing this, even though he had a hard time seeing my board. It didn't load for him.
Yeah.
Like my stuff. But he was seeing us do this, and he was like, I see people do this all the time. And it's got its benefits, but you have to change it on the fly because someone's going
to wreck your day.
Someone's going to wreck your day. And I told him, well, that's what PJ and I do. Especially, and I told him, especially since you and I know how each other think, because we're very, very similar in that, especially when it comes to strategy. I'm going here. I'm like, well, all right. Well, I guess I'm just going to go do this. Like,
But I really liked how my second turn I took Capital City, and everyone's like 3 turns later.
I didn't even know.
Yeah,
Jason's like, oh yes, I saw somebody do that.
He's like, someone took Capital City. I'm like, yep, that was me.
Like,
and everyone else at the table's like, wait, what?
When did you do that? Like, I took some cities and stuff. I was like, when did you do that? Which explains why you had so much power. Or so much influence, I should say.
Oh, man. Like, I said it in my Instagram post earlier today when we recorded this on Tuesday, but I was very excited for this game. But now that we've, played it a little bit, and we've only played it a little bit.
Right.
But I'm really excited for this game
so
now.
So am I, and I even told Jason when we were playing last night, this is fun, but I can't wait to get these pieces in my hands.
Yeah.
I can't wait to physically move these around.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the board it's not crowded, per se, at first, but there is a little limited space. I really feel like we need those, those little push, we're sending troops into battle. I feel like we need one of those big, long poles to...
I know, but like he said, though, it's not that bad, because, the most you can have on one hex is 3.
6.
Yes,
you can have
3
a
of
total
yours
of 6.
and 3 of the others.
Yep. With each faction only having 3 on. So that's not bad at all.
And something else that you won't know by looking at it that he pointed out to us.
Oh my god, blew my mind when he told us this.
So, the all the troops, the single units, their bases are hex-shaped.
Or portion.
Well,
a hex.
Well, the troops are hex-shaped.
Okay,
the vehicles are half of a hex with these divots in them that a hex fits into.
Yeah.
So when you slot them all together, they take up exactly half of one hex on the board.
Yep. If you have a vehicle and 2 troops,
it
takes up exactly one half of that hex.
So then
I didn't even know that.
Right? And then the opposing team, when they come in, they'll take up the other half of the hex if they use the full amount.
Yep.
And dang, that attention to detail is extremely impressive.
And we've talked about this before in our interviews with him. How long has he been thinking about this game? He's been thinking about this game for
8 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say close to a decade.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of things mapped out and brilliantly mapped out at that.
For sure.
I just thought it was hilarious that while we were waiting for Jason to come and talk with us, you're like, oh, here's the rule book.
Yeah, because I had it pulled up in Chrome, and I was alt-tabbing back and forth between the game and Chrome. I didn't realize the rulebook was right there on the table. That was awesome.
It's like breaking your leg while you're playing ice hockey.
So now
right
let's give props where they're due. Gilbert,
yes,
who programmed the game to make it super easy to play.
Oh my
gosh! And I got to play with him a little bit. Well, I spectated a game that he was teaching.
Okay.
And he is just such a nice guy. Him and Bruno both, like, they're both in the game.
Oh, that's
teaching
awesome.
the game to really are.
And that's great. And, you know, when we were talking over the live stream, as the campaign was winding down, I mean, the community has been so supportive of this game. There
Sploot was there too.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So we get to know these names by seeing all these people that constantly talk with Jason. Always in the live stream talking with Jason when
and then the
Discord channels. I really hope that other game developers and designers are even half as lucky to have the support that Jason received for this.
Yeah, right.
This is absolutely incredible. There hadn't been a negative comment through the entire campaign.
No.
Everybody was super supportive. Like, you need more time, Jason? It's okay, man. We'll give you more time. You know, like, that's the kind of stuff that we don't get to see anymore.
Absolutely.
I mean,
and I think Jason is a big factor in that. Like, his transparency, his enthusiasm for
absolutely.
it. Like, he set the example for everyone else, I feel.
And I really hope that that goes further than him. I hope others can see that example.
Everyone else takes notice, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff that we can see moving forward with these campaigns, because there are a lot of just innovative people out there coming up with these really great, unique games. Mm-hmm. And half of them aren't even going to see the light of day.
Yeah.
Which is the really, really sad thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, Seismic. If you guys want to play Seismic, hit us up. You know, comment on this episode. Email us, gamesoboard@gmail.com. We would love to play with you guys.
Hit us up on any of our social media.
Yeah. And we'll share our Discord info and we'll set up a game.
Absolutely.
You might even see when you're searching for servers, you might see Games Overboard.
Yes.
Like, you know, we might have a server set up and playing a game. And if that ever happens, if you catch us early enough, we might let you in.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, real quick, going back to Seismic, we did get some really cool news from Jason himself last night as well. He is currently working on a solo and cooperative mode for the game.
Yep, and which we knew in the campaign, but he said, like, where it's at right now, he said it might be a little too hard. And so he's tweaking the rules, but he was, like, actively in a play session as he was talking to us.
Yeah.
And he said that's going to be hitting Tabletop Simulator in a week or two.
Yeah.
So
basically as soon as it can get coded in.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's cool. Okay, sorry.
No.
Back to, I totally slipped my mind. What other game did you get?
One called Beacon Patrol, which has been getting a lot of attention, but I don't know anything about it. And same with a game called Sea Salt and Pepper.
Okay.
Sea Salt and Paper, sorry.
And Paper, okay.
And it's a card game. Again, I don't know much about it, but it's supposed to be very good. I got an engine building game, which we love.
Oh, yeah.
And it's called It's a Wonderful World. And
I'm sorry, I just started hearing Louis Armstrong right
I know.
There. Did your mind go in there, too?
Oh, yeah.
What a wonderful world. Sorry, I can't do Louis justice.
I mean, it's better than what I can do, but...
Well...
And then I got a couple others I don't remember what off the top of my head.
You just started picking things off the shelf.
Well, it was like cheaper, smaller games. Ones that like we can do in an evening, you know, or they can travel with me, things like that.
Those are good ones.
Yeah.
Those are good ones. I'd say the game that we did tonight would be a great travel, but only when you get to your destination.
Yeah, this isn't one for the car.
No, absolutely not. Which leads us into what did we do this time? Besides break all the rules and destroy everything in the house. We did. Shut up. This is Cthulhu Wars. This is
Duel.
Cthulhu
Wars Duel.
Yes. So this is the strictly 2-player version of the game.
The affordable version.
The affordable version. You did show me the big box version.
I almost bought the big box version a couple months ago.
How much is it?
I'm looking it up right now. I want to say last I checked it was $200. It was $165 a couple months ago. but
just seeing all the components that come with it, totally worth it.
It usually retails for around $300.
Ooh!
Yeah, it's not a cheap game here. So let's see here. No, come on.
I mean, when you think about it, we're getting a steal when it comes to Seismic. Seismic has so much more.
Oh, yeah.
God, we're never going to stop talking about that
game.
game.
It is still $200 right now.
All right. I mean, for what you get, I don't think that's horrible, especially with everything that, all of you don't have cardboard pieces like we played with tonight. You have minis, and they are big minis. So this is as you said, the affordable version of the game.
Mm-hmm. You can get it for around $30 to $40. It comes with a handful of dice and lots of standees, lots of cardboard standees, and a board.
I'm going to suggest that you get another set of lots and lots and lots of dice.
Yeah, I broke out Dead of Winter.
And that game comes with a crap ton of dice.
For all the D6s that come in that.
Speaking of which, that's a game we're going to have to pick up sometime and play again.
I do like that game a lot.
Oh, God, it's been years since I played that.
Yeah.
So this game is... I mean, it's... in the way of games and everything, it is getting a little old, but it's not too old. This was published, at least this version we have here was published in 2020. So I wouldn't say it's too old. I mean, it still has all of those things that you're going to get used to, seeing in games like this.
Yeah.
This is an area control game, which this is our second area control game.
In a row.
Actually, our second area control game for this month.
Yeah. Excuse me while I put these dice away.
Way to go! Drop them. Just drop them.
I dropped one.
So
you're so mean.
Have you heard half the shit you guys say to me?
I was waiting for that.
Seriously? Do you understand the trauma that's in this mind? Crap you guys say. So this game is, like I said, it's an area control. It is only a 2-player game. But even for just a 2-player game, this is at first it doesn't start out, but boy oh boy does this thing become a busy game.
It escalates.
Oh man. Fast.
More than Tyrants of the Underdark.
Oh, absolutely.
Tyrants of the Underdark was easier to follow and not in like a bad way. Like, this is not hard to follow. It's just
absolutely not.
There's just so many troops on the map, and it's like
the problem with this is you have a lot of troops that come out, but your board is smaller.
Yeah.
And I think we actually have less troops in this than we had Tyrants of the Underdark.
For sure, yeah.
We have such a smaller board that it gets busy real fast.
Yeah. And it's definitely it's more epic in feel than Tyrants from last week. You're pushing more people around the map at a time, bigger battles. You're not eliminating one troop at a time.
No, I mean, when you go into battle, think of this as more like Risk. When you go into battle, you're fighting. Everybody who's fighting in the area is fighting in the area. Mm-hmm. Now, I did have a special ability as the Great Cthulhu where I could devour somebody, just straight out destroy someone. And the cool thing about combat is the defending player gets to choose who dies.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice.
I really like that.
Yeah.
So the way that the combat in this game is set up is you roll however many dice it tells you, and that's usually the strength of your individual pieces put together.
Yep.
You take that many die, add it all up, that's how many dice you get, and you roll. Now, if you roll a 1 through 3, it does nothing. If you get a 4 and a 5, what you do is you wound.
Yeah.
You wound.
Yeah. They're called pains.
Pains. That's what it's called. It's a pain. So basically,
you inflict pain.
It's you wound somebody and they get a chance to retreat.
Yeah.
If you would roll a 6 and it's only a 6 that can do this, you kill that other person's unit. Mm-hmm. But the defending player gets to choose who dies.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to things like you're battling and there's a cultist on the board, if you're smart, you let the cultist die.
They only cost one.
They only cost 1 point
to bring them back,
and they'll be right back.
Yeah, and anyone that gets eliminated, the player that eliminated them gets doom, and whoever gets 30 doom points wins.
Yes, your doom is your
victory points.
Your victory points, basically. So the way that this is all set up, let's go through our components quick before we get more into how the game plays out. You get, in this version of the game, everything is cardboard.
Yes.
So you get cardboard standees that you get a little plastic base to attach them to. Everybody gets 2 extras just in case, which is nice.
Yep.
Because you never know when these little things will break. Your Doom tracking tokens are nice little cardboard pieces, and they're thick. They're thick cardstock.
It's
Your standard
cardboard token.
Cardboard tokens, and of course, since it's only a 2-player game, you get one of each faction. You get the Great Cthulhu, or
the Black Goat of the Woods.
That's right. What's his real name?
No, it's racist.
No, it's racist. I'm not saying that. It's racist.
Yeah, for those who don't know Lovecraft very well.
Lovecraft, racist as hell.
Yeah, and
I'll get back to that in just a second.
Yeah,
Go
because
ahead.
a lot of it is because he was like, what's his name? The guy from Psycho. Like Norman Bates.
Norman Bates.
Where like he had this unhealthy relationship with his mother. He was a recluse and all kinds of things. He was very xenophobic.
Absolutely.
We're not condoning that at all. But the reason why we're into this subject is because the Black Goat of the Woods that's the modern name for it.
But the funny thing about this, so he's racist. He was also anti-Semitic. But again, only because of how he was raised. His wife was Jewish. Didn't bother him at all.
Yeah.
He didn't see anything wrong with it. He had pen pals and very close friends. He'd hang out with black people. He didn't care.
Yeah.
And so the dichotomy of the man was very interesting. If you want to learn more, there are hundreds of books on him, plenty of things on YouTube that go through, his biography. Strange guy. Really, really strange guy.
Yeah, I don't like his writing for the most part, too. It's hard. Even for the time period, people talked about how antiquated his writing style was.
Absolutely. It is a bit of a slog to get through.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, he has some of the greatest stories.
Mm-hmm. The one, apparently, one of my favorites, a lot of people hate.
Which one?
The Dunwich Horror. It's one that gets a lot of hate.
Why?
I don't know. I think it's awesome. Because, like, for those who don't know what the Dunwich Horror is, it's about this story where every night this gigantic creature attacks the landscape. Well, it usually is just like roaming the landscape. And the whole story is people on the phone with each other like, did you see it? I heard it. I just went right past my kitchen window. And then someone else is on the other phone like, yeah, I just heard it. I can't see anything out there though. And then they go out the next morning and there are footprints in the ground and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's like 90% of the story. And it's so cool. I think it's awesome, like how it plays out like that, like a little, almost like a dramatic reading.
Absolutely, yeah. So that was actually something that we wanted to do when I was in college. A few of us wanted to do like a shadow play / radio play.
Yeah.
So you'd have somebody.
That'd be a perfect one.
You'd have somebody in the background, like doing the whole shadow puppet type thing, but like humans.
Yeah.
Doing the shadow acting, and then off to the side, there'd be us talking like this. One of my it's that transatlantic accent they all loved back in the day.
Oh, I can't.
The one of my favorite stories, actually probably my favorite story, is one that gets love only because of the adaptations of it.
Yep, I know what you're gonna say.
You already know what I'm gonna say.
Reanimator.
Herbert West, Reanimator.
Yeah.
That story just it's a modern version of Frankenstein or
yeah.
the modern Prometheus.
Yeah.
I love that story. And that one's not as hard to get through when it comes to how he's written it. But there are some parts where you go, yeah, and there's no racist undertone. That was just racist.
That was straight out racist.
Straight out racist.
Yeah, there's some Like, that one's blatant.
It is.
But the plot is so good.
Oh my god.
If only, like, someone needs to adapt it and get out, like, some of those descripting sentences there, you know? And then it'll be a great story.
Exactly.
And that's the problem with his work, is, like, he has great ideas. They just get bogged down by either his writing style or the racist undertones or, you know, like...
Or just the straight out blatant racism.
Or the blatant racism.
Well, you know, HBO... Was it HBO at the time? Yeah, HBO had that Lovecraft Country, which was...
based on a book, too. And and they did a good job.
They did a great job because they tackled the racism.
Yeah, they talk about how, like... what's his name? Jonathan Majors was the main character. And he talks about how great Lovecraft was, except, you know, he was a horrible human being.
Oh, we're getting way off topic from game-wise.
Yeah, we do it. We do this all the time.
Yeah, that's true. I mean...
And I have to say, Lovecraft Country by the end was not good.
I did not...
It started off strong.
I did not get... I saw like a handful of episodes.
Anyway,
so you get your player board. Your player board gives you both of the characters that you can play here. The Great Cthulhu, the Black Goat. And at the top of it, you've got numbers that range from 0 all the way up to 20. That is your power. Mm-hmm. And your power is how you do anything. How you summon creatures, how you move. Yeah. It's all up there. Everybody, well, I say everybody, there's only 2 of you. But each character has a unique ability. They give you what your setup is from the beginning. And then they give you exactly what monsters and cultists you have. What their cost is and what their combat score is. And they even have little special notes here. Such as, to the right of it, you get your spell books. Your spell books are things that you get after you complete certain objectives. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't call them objectives per se, but after you meet a certain criteria in the game, you can get a new spell book, of course. Those are things that once you unlock it, you choose which one in your hand you put down. By the end of the game, you should have everything filled if you've played smartly.
Yeah.
And it gives you notes. So Acolytes, this is the spellbook you want to use for your Acolyte. Certain monsters have different spellbooks that work for them. And then, of course, at the bottom, you have your Great Old One. And it'll give you things like how much it costs to pull them out. Now, Cthulhu is a little different. To pull Cthulhu out, you have to pay 10 power just to bring him out.
Yeah, the old ones are not cheap.
But unlike the Black Goat, if I get knocked out of battle, if my Cthulhu gets knocked out of battle, he's not dead. He just went back to slumber. So if I want to bring him back out, I now only have to pay 4 power to reawaken him and bring him out.
Nice.
Which is really good considering you kicked my ass.
4. I was wondering how you're getting him out so friggin' quickly.
That's all I need, just 4.
So there is an expansion, by the way, that offers 2 new factions.
Cool.
Yeah, Azathoth, or as Sandy Peterson Games call it, the Sleeper.
Okay.
And the Windwalker. I'm not sure which one that's supposed to be. God of Outer Space and all that is coldest and darkest. Yogg-Sothoth, maybe?
That's what I think.
But anyways.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. So that is your player card. And then you've got your map, or your player board. Mm-hmm. Or, not player board. You've got the main board. And then at the top, you've got your doom counter that goes from 0 all the way up to 30. At the bottom, you have your ritual.
So I just want to show you this. One expansion for main Cthulhu Wars is a big freaking box.
Holy crap, that's huge.
Yeah. It's like, the size of a large shoebox. And it's all of the minis and the faction board that you need in that box.
That is awesome.
Yeah. And so that's how big the expansions are for that. Because, the main box is like this and like that tall.
Holy crap. It's a huge box.
Yeah. From what I've seen, this is the faction boards in the main game. They're not cardboard or anything.
Okay, they're just
the
these
paper.
little cardstock. Yes, thank you.
So a lot of this is really very similar to the main game, just smaller and
right. and cardboard tokens.
Yeah, there are some rules changes too in the rule book. Like first couple pages, it says like if you know Cthulhu Wars, here are the changes. And,
okay,
yeah,
that's pretty neat. That's neat.
Yep.
So, what I think is cool is it's kind of laid out like Risk.
Oh yeah.
So you've got your sections, basically your continents, and then this one is also using your sea. So there's no place on the board that should be empty.
Mm-hmm.
You can put gates to summon your old ones anywhere.
Yeah. I want to know what world this is though, because like Arkham and Salem are on like two different areas of like the continent.
Yeah, that's odd because
Innsmouth is on a whole different island. So crazy.
Well, maybe this is all in the eyes of the old ones. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
So you can circumnavigate this board, which is really cool.
Yes.
But only certain sections. So you have symbols on either side of the board. They must match up with the other symbol on the other side for you to walk across to that side.
Yeah, like imagine any picture of the world on a paper map, where the Pacific Ocean is on both sides, right? Mm-hmm. If it's an American-based map, at least, Pacific Ocean is on the far west and the far east. Same thing for this map, except it's divided into top, middle, and southern sections.
Right.
And so if you're in the top section, you can circle all the way over to the other side of the board, but only to the top section. You can't, like, circle down to the middle section.
Right. Like you could with a globe or anything. Anyway. So, that's basically the whole layout. And I've pretty much gone through everything you can, like, basically your steps of the game.
You spend power to do actions, and then you eventually battle.
Yeah.
And you do whatever the action is.
When it comes to the simplicity of this game, we watched a how-to video, and I was like, God, this guy doesn't shut up. He just keeps going.
Yeah, like this.
And I'm like, oh my God,
forever.
This is going to be so complicated. And then we actually read the book ourselves, and we're like, oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
Jeez, why'd you have to talk so much?
Yeah. You want to put a cultist on the map? Spend 1 point of action, or of power.
Power, yep.
You want to put something else on the map? Well, look how much it costs. Spend that much power.
And that much power. That's it.
Boom.
And then, the one thing we did have to look up was, well, wait a second, what happens with the old ones get into battle? Oh, just...
Yeah. Oh, a 6 kills them, just like anything else.
A 6 kills it. Like, oh! Well, okay. So Cthulhu,
which makes them feel very vulnerable sometimes.
It does. It really does. Like Cthulhu, if what I really should have done is taken out more of your people around the map before I actually attacked you.
Yeah.
Before I attacked your great old one, because Cthulhu is a beast. I mean, he takes... You roll 6 die just to have Cthulhu attack. But with the Black Goat, he gets...
1 for every cultist on the board, and 1 for every gate you control. And then, if you have the spell book, you also get 1 for each of, like, certain monster types on the board, too.
Right, so...
so I was rolling 11 dice at some points in the game.
Right, and I
could have rolled more.
Holy crap. Like, it gets a little overwhelming. But, of course, I also had the ability that once per battle, as Cthulhu, I could just take someone right off the map.
Yeah.
I could devour somebody in an instant.
Yep.
Which I thought that was great. Like, wait, no, it's once per turn. Nah, dude, it's once per battle. Crap. Oh, no, you thought it was once per round. It's once per battle. So yeah. I could theoretically just go around and go, no, I'm not going to roll. I'm just going to eat you.
Yeah.
So, I got a question for you.
Oh, no.
This is the news, PJ, the news. A man is watching the news on TV. There had been a terrible accident with many victims. The man rises, turns on the light, and commits suicide.
Why does he turn on the light?
Maybe he wanted to find his gun. I don't know.
Is he a vampire? He turns on the light and, like...
That's artificial light, dude. It's not going to hurt a vampire.
Was his entire family in the accident?
No.
You had to think about that, though.
Oh, I had to read it. I didn't read the whole solution.
Oh, God.
I just know that, yeah.
Was it a loved one in the accident?
Doesn't say.
Okay, Angie.
What?
Was it a car accident?
No.
Was it a work-related accident?
Yes.
At a power plant?
No.
It doesn't say if it was a loved one.
No.
Is his life in danger because of the accident?
No. I'll let you stew on that for a second. So, I talked a lot. I mean...
What works in this game? For me, it's the whole spending power to do actions. We've seen it in other games, too. I can't recall any, like, what they are off the top of my head right now. Spirit Island does it.
Spirit Island does it, yeah.
They're called action points in that one. World Wonders is the same thing, tracking the gold as it drops down as you're buying land and buildings.
Yep. What works for me when it comes to that, the actions, the power, is how you build that power.
Mm-hmm.
So I was leading the game up until probably the last 3 or 4 turns.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then PJ jumped ahead. He's like, boom, because he kept killing my poor Cthulhu. You know, you leave him alone. He's the sleepy one.
Apparently.
He is, you know. He just wants to slumber. Haven't you seen the original drawings that Lovecraft made of him? He looked like a sad little man who just wanted to go to sleep.
I know.
So, leave me alone. It's how I feel every day.
Especially the original grotesque statue
drawings.
Yeah. It's this chubby, pot-bellied little thing.
Chubby little man just... So, I was getting so much power because where PJ's... what words gone? Can't think.
Does turning on the light have anything to do with his suicide at all?
No.
Is it pertinent to the story at all?
Yes.
Okay, continue.
So I want to keep saying modus operandi, but that's not, like, strategy.
Okay.
That's the word. Why? I can't.
That's the word.
That's the word.
That escaped you.
I can't think of strategy, but oh yes, modus operandi. I remember that one. This is how screwed up my mind is, dude. I've been dropped too many times on my head as a child, and I took too many blows to the head when I was in Los Angeles.
I thought you were going to say like a month ago. It was dropped too many times.
It could have been a month ago. I don't remember. I'll give you an example. I was hanging out with my brother today, and his wife and I just had a conversation where she was in the pool. And then she got out so she could eat something. And my brother's like, well, aren't you getting in the pool? He's like, nah, she wanted to eat first. She didn't get in the pool yet. She goes, Dan, we literally just had a conversation not even 5 minutes ago where I was in the pool. It's like, we did? Oh, no. Like, Angie was telling me one night she had a headache during dinner. I said, oh, I'm sorry. And then I cleaned up dinner, came into bed. I was like, hey, are you okay? She goes, no, I told you I had a headache. No, you didn't. She says, yes, I did. I told you I had a headache, and you said I'm sorry. I said, I don't remember. Oh, my mind is just going. Anyway, back onto the topic. So, strategy, that's the word. Your strategy was about getting as many troops as you could out on the map. Mm-hmm. My strategy was open as many portals as I could, as many gates.
Yeah.
And that's how I kept bringing in all of that power right off the bat.
Yeah.
Because I had way more gates than you did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where I was more content just getting troops out from the gates I had and just moving them into position.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're just like, nope. Open a gate here, open a gate here, open a gate here.
Well, a great one needs to come from any of these areas. Well, it's not really. It sucks, because Cthulhu can only come from your starting gate.
Yeah.
But just the way that you gain your power, and of course your doom tracker and everything, that's great too. Every time you kill something, your doom tracker goes up.
Yeah. Based on the cost that it takes to put that thing onto the map.
Yes. So the other thing that I really like about this is that doom tracker. So it is your VP system. It's how you figure out who's in the lead, who's winning the game. But with that power that we were talking about, if one player expends all of their power
This is such a cool idea.
before the other player now takes a penalty in power. So every time they go to do an action, wherever that doom tracker is, that neutral doom tracker, you have to spend that many points before you can spend your actual points to do what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Which is a great way to speed up getting to that next round.
And it limits that other player from doing a million things.
Right, getting themselves in the perfect position to just annihilate the other player to, well, I want to move this or I want to bring out this. Well, okay, but now you've already gone 3 turns, so you have to pay now 4 extra power before you can do that huge play that you wanted to do. So it really forces you to prioritize and keep track of your opponent. How much power do they have left?
Yeah.
How much can I spend? Or will I be able to spend all of my power and then make them pay? Mm-hmm. So that is a legitimate strategy, is to...
I did that a couple times.
I know you did, you jerk.
I was like, I need to get him to 0 because I see him gearing up for something.
And it was usually getting in position to attack you.
Yeah. So I'd buy the, 3 of my most expensive guy or whatever, put them out on the board, oh, I'm at 0 now.
You jerk. But that's really cool. I really like that. Anything else that you think works?
I like the whole dice combat.
Absolutely. I think the combat is very simple.
Yeah, it's very simple.
Very simple.
Just
and
6s
clear.
eliminate pieces.
4 or 5 retreat. 1 through 3 does nothing.
Yeah, that's it. Easy.
We didn't really take a whole lot of advantage of the ritual.
Yeah, we each did it once.
Yeah, you did it. And I was like, what did you do? Oh, well, I just took 5 to do this. I'm like, I want to do it. Well, you now have to use 6. Like, fine, I've got 19. I'll do it just to screw you over. And what that will do is it gives you one of these tokens here.
An elder sign.
Elder sign, that's what they're called. And these elder sign tokens have a value put on the back of it. It's 1 through 3. And that gives you...
Power.
Or
Doom.
Doom, sorry, yeah. That gives you your Doom points. Now, you don't have to use those immediately, and however many you have, you can use as many of them as you want during your Doom phase.
Yep.
Which brings you up...
Closer to that end goal.
Closer to your end goal, so you don't have to kill something. As long as you have one of those elder signs, you can use that to bolster yourself to getting closer to winning the game. Now, it looks like you can go over 30 in some
because if you're
if
at 28 or 29, and then you dump 5 tokens down, or if you do a ritual,
okay,
you can bump over that 30 mark.
Right. Not that it's just you hit 30, game's done, it's over.
Yeah.
What about things that don't work in this game?
I mean, this game would definitely benefit with minis.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. We had a fan on because it gets a little warm down here, and Cthulhu just wanted to take a nap.
Yeah, he's top heavy. He's a top heavy.
Wow, it's his
standee
wings.
there.
His giant wings keep...
Yeah.
Who did I kick? I'm sorry, Tobit. I just kicked your cat.
If it's true that the player mats are this flimsy in the main game, 100 plus, just for the base game, and you open the box and you get this.
I would have expected
for this version of the game, it's great.
Great. For the game proper, I would expect something thicker. I would expect the same thickness that you get here from
Actual
the mat.
board. Yeah. That.
So that is a little disappointing. But with this version,
really,
I can't find anything.
I don't have any
faulty.
faults. Yeah, I really don't. The art is great.
Oh yeah.
The standees are nice. They're easy to identify.
I love how the cultists look exactly the same. The only thing that differentiates them is one is green and one is red. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So, dear God, I'm so sorry for any colorblind people. That will be confusing as hell.
Yeah.
But those tokens, these are the only tokens that
they really
look
are
the
same,
same.
aren't
Everybody else is, I mean, because these are creatures that are well documented in, Lovecraftian lore, they're all very specific.
Yeah.
They all are
Deep
very
ones and
different.
shoggoths and ghouls.
Star beasts, which, man, I'm kicking myself. I should have used my star beast to kick your butt.
Man, this is another thing that maybe I should put this in stuff that doesn't work. Lovecraft's naming system for creatures, like deep ones, elder things, which are not in this game, but or the dark young, fungi from Yuggoth. Like, can you be a little more original, please? Yeah.
No.
I mean, the best one when I first read At the Mountains of Madness and they discover elder things, and then they just keep calling them elder things. Like, you're not really gonna name them.
But how much of that do you think was Lovecraft just being like, just gonna type this stupid thing out, just hit it in my typewriter. What am I gonna call this thing? I don't fucking know. An elder thing. It's an elder thing. Who cares? It's for a stupid magazine I care nothing of. And because he did, a lot of those stories were
like
for
pulp
magazines,
magazines and things like that.
And it's funny because if it weren't for his, I can't remember the man's name, his one friend who collected the stories, we wouldn't know a damn thing about him. He would have been forgotten to time
because everyone hated his stuff.
No, they didn't.
They did,
but it wasn't popular.
He got panned by a lot of critics and a lot of people because of his writing style.
Well, yeah, that's the writing style. I can't remember his name. Howard, the guy that created Conan, the Barbarian. They were great friends, and they would always go back and forth and encourage each other.
Yeah,
that's why you see a lot of crossovers with the Conan stories with Lovecraft, because they would go back and forth and share ideas and everything.
Yeah,
like he was such a sheltered man.
Yeah, he really was. Like the whole Norman Batesy stuff, like that's not an exaggeration. Like,
no, it's not.
Was
so
very sheltered.
He got out. He got out when he got married, and then he had to move back in with dear old mom.
Yeah. But if anyone wants a really good Lovecraft movie, Color Out of Space. Did you see that one yet?
Not all of it. You showed me bits and pieces. Like, we got to the part where she's cutting the carrot, and I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no! It's like, no, it's gonna happen, oh no!
That one's so good. I wish they'd it was supposed to be a trilogy. Dunwich Horror was supposed to be book 2, or movie 2.
Was it?
Yeah.
What happened?
The director, surprise, got blacklisted for a second time. Because he made movies in like the 70s or 80s, something like that.
Who was it? Who was the director?
Richard Stanley.
Yeah.
So he made Hardware in 1990, Dust Devil in 92. Oh, he even made The Island of Dr. Moreau in 96.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for him because Marlon Brando made that set a living hell for him. Like, he freaked out and he ran into the woods to live for a couple of weeks. The poor guy.
Yeah, so Richard Stanley, who made it, he stopped making movies for a while after that, or at least like high budget movies, and this was his kind of return to the big screen. And then something came out in the press, and now he's like not making movies again. I hope that eventually they get around to making the other 2 movies in the trilogy, but if not, Color Out of Space, one of my favorite stories from Lovecraft.
That's what it is. It's abuse allegations.
Ooh, yeah, he's not making anything then.
Yeah.
Yeah, nope. So hopefully they find someone else to make the other 2 movies.
I hope so. And, I love a good Nick Cage film. Mm-hmm. Even when Nick Cage is chewing up the scenery. By the way, I love...
But in this one, he's allowed to, because he's slowly going insane.
Yeah. Oh,
so it's perfect.
That's just about how every character in Lovecraft, happens.
Yeah.
So I was watching an interview with him about why he acts like that. And after I saw that interview, I'm like, nope, that man is not a bad actor. This man is a fucking genius.
Isn't it just because like it's fun? Wasn't that kind of like the gist of it?
It's part of it. So he studied No theater, which is a style of Japanese theater.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
It's like commedia dell'arte. It's very expressive. Commedia, you have masks, so you have to be very expressive with your eyes. No is face paint and being very expressive with your face.
Yeah.
And he thought that was more interesting than just normal acting, conventional acting.
Yeah.
And you know what? I would rather watch a Nick Cage movie than a Daniel Day-Lewis movie.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Not saying Daniel Day-Lewis is a bad actor, because he's not, but I have some beef with that style of acting. But he takes huge risks.
Yeah.
And sometimes it pays off, and sometimes you go, well, we saw that. The only thing that comes to mind right away is, the bees! The bees are in my eyes! I'm sorry.
Or Willy's Wonderland. You see
I
that
did not
one?
see that one.
He doesn't say a word the whole movie. And
Oh, dear.
everyone that, like, every review I've seen, they're all convinced that he just probably walked on set like, I'm not learning any lines for this movie.
He's reacting.
That's just tell me what to do and I'll do it.
That's probably like the most genius thing I've ever heard when it comes to acting, because
especially for a cheap indie movie, like, fine, Nicolas Cage, if that's what it takes to get you in this movie, okay.
yeah, people watch it because it's a Nick Cage film.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that, that's brilliant, because that is pure acting.
Yeah.
And the best acting is listening and reacting. It's not spouting off rehearsed lines. It's getting those lines, knowing what you should say, and then fully listening to what is being said to you, and reacting while saying those lines.
Yeah.
So that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant.
All right. Well, favorite moments?
I'm bringing out Cthulhu.
Yeah, bringing out that old one. It just
great.
feels good. Just feels real good.
Just great. So PJ...
And winning all those battles
shut
feels really good.
I just liked eating all your cultists. That was awesome. So PJ, a man is watching the news on TV. There had been a terrible accident with many victims. The man rises, turns on the light, and
Turns on the light and
Yeah.
commits suicide. Did he need the light for the act? Like, to kill himself?
No.
Did the light have to be on? No. Okay. Is how he commits suicide pertinent to the story at all?
not how
method.
he commits suicide. No, the method is not pertinent.
Just why?
Yes.
And it's not. Is it something like he was going to die anyways?
No.
He didn't lose a loved one.
Not that we know of.
Not that we know of. Did he? Was it somewhere where he assumed loved ones were?
No.
Was like World War III just starting?
No.
No, because you said the light is important to it, right?
Yes. I really want you to think about that for a second.
Uh-huh.
In what aspect would a light be important to a job?
To a job?
Mm-hmm. That's the only hint I'm giving you. See, I'm nicer when I do these than you guys are. I can actually give you hints.
So the light is important for a job.
Yes.
Wait, is he at home?
No.
He's not at home.
He's not at home.
So why would he put a light on and then kill himself? Why does it have to relate to a job? Is he... No.
Go
'Cause
ahead.
He saw the news. So he's not like trapped in a mine or something. That was what I was thinking.
Oh, no. No.
But he's trapped in... Yeah, he saw the news, so it can't be that. Is there power?
Yeah, there's power.
I assume so, because he saw the news.
God, I've got a big hint.
Yeah, I'm about to have to give up. I can't.
I just
without someone else to play off like their ideas. It's hard just one-on-one.
This is gonna be a huge giveaway.
Oh boy.
Tell me you like me, lobster.
Oh. Yeah, I never have gotten that.
Put it together.
Okay, so he works at a lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
He turns on the light, okay, and then kills himself, so, like, no one else gets, like, the ships can still come into port. But why does he do it?
Remember, there was a big accident. What happened?
Uh-oh. Oh, no. He caused it. Okay. Got it. Yeah.
So the man was in charge of a lighthouse, and he saw in the news that a ship had just collided because the lighthouse was off.
Yep.
He was so affected by his mistake, he turned the light on to avoid any new accidents, and he committed suicide because he couldn't cope with the guilt he had felt.
Yep.
See, I'm a lot nicer than you.
That's like
Andrew.
some Breaking Bad stuff, right?
It is. It is. First thing comes to mind is the air traffic controller.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, yeah.
Yep.
Minor spoilers there. We won't say any more than that. But...
Oh, we did this one. Yuck. Rita went from pile of jewelry. Yep. Trash.
All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for this week.
This week.
This whole week.
Whole week.
So everyone, email us at gamesoboard@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. Our Well House Exorcism listeners are in constant contact with us, and we love it. We love the dialogue that we have with them after every episode. It's so much fun. So, yeah, please message us. Let us know what you think. If you agree or disagree with the games. Cthulhu Wars is one where a lot of people hate it. So what do you think?
Really?
Because it's just like, it's overproduced, a super simple game that shouldn't be so expensive. Like it's not worth the money because it's such a light game. And there's no complexity to it.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And considering each expansion is like $60 each, so if you want the full set, you're looking at over $1,000 for this game.
Right.
People are like, this game is crap because it's just not worth that money. Things like that. I think it's fantastic. I would love to play this at like 6 players.
Oh my god. Oh, definitely.
Dang. So anyways, let us know what you think. Would for those of you who have played it, or those who have been thinking about playing it, what do you think about Cthulhu Wars? We would love to hear what you think.
Absolutely.
So comment if you watch this on YouTube, comment underneath, or email us. Visit us at gamesoverboard.com, where you can find the contact button and message us that way, or on any of our socials like Dan said earlier. And yeah, we just want to hear from you.
Yeah, and if you guys want to play a game of Seismic with us,
message us about that too.
About it.
All right, everyone, have a great week. We'll talk to you next time.
All right, good night, everybody.